No Barry?
All right, also I don't.
He chose the Marlins, apparently.
So has there been progress with Devontae Parker and what do you do with practice this week?
Will won't be able to practice this week. Devontae he'll be out of practice today, along with Greg Mans.
Flo, it's Mike Cleats, Week Cause. I know you talked before about your mom and some of the people who know that you're repping the cancer cause. I'm curious if you would share why that means a lot to you.
I think it's pretty obvious why, but I think cancer is something that affects a lot of people. Doesn't matter, all walks of life, poor, rich, black, white. Doesn't care about religion, race, nothing. It affects everyone. So obviously it's affected me as well and my family. I'm not alone in that, and any way I can support the fight against cancer, I will.
Coach, earlier this week, Joe Judge had commented about your guys' time kind of coming up together in New England. Just wanted to get your take on what that time meant to you and how it kind of taught you and prepared you for where you're at now, and just maybe if some of your favorite memories from that time with Coach Judge.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of came up together as young coaches trying to pave our way in this league. Early mornings, late nights, a lot of conversations, and it wasn't just myself and Joe. Obviously, there's a lot of guys on that staff. Some that are here, some that are in New York now. So I think we challenged each other as far as trying to learn from one another. We asked a lot of questions. Pat and I have challenged each other. Joe and I have challenged each other. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? That's a good way to do it. I wouldn't think of it that way. I mean, I think that's how you get better. I mean, iron sharpens iron. I believe that. On any team. So the coaching staff is a team. The players are a team. It's one big team. But I think that environment was great for me personally. Being around a lot of great coaches. I certainly was able to get better and make improvements. Teaching styles, methods. I think Joe's somebody I definitely learned from. He's got a PhD in education, so he knows how to teach. I don't think people know that. But at the end of the day, coaching is teaching, and I learned, some teaching methods from him. Again, he's, I learned a lot from him and a lot of people there. So I have a lot of respect for him, and I know he's a friend first.
I know a couple weeks ago you said that there's no set amount of time you can use to maybe judge any particular player or a young player coming into this league. But last Sunday was to his 16th career start, so now he kind of has a full season's body of work. Where do you think he's improved the most over this time?
I guess it would be now. We'd have to wait till after this week. The full season, 17 games now. So I'll answer that one next week. But through 16 games, I think he's obviously. We get up here and he's made a lot of positive. There's been a lot of positives. He's improved every week. I think he's getting better every time he steps out onto the practice field. He's getting the reps from a preparation standpoint, and it's he's doing better. He's doing a lot better, and hopefully he continues to just keep working the way he's working, and I'll probably have a better answer next week.
How would you describe Tua's accuracy, and when a player has a high completion percentage, how can that impact an offense and how the defense has to defend that quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, accuracy is always good. I mean, if we can throw it accurately, catch the ball, those are normally positive plays. And positive plays keep you on schedule, and if you're on schedule, then normally good things happen. When you're off schedule or behind in the sticks, it's harder to pick up the yardage and the amount of downs that we have. So I think accuracy is very important. He's been accurate. We've asked him to be accurate. He's practiced that way in practice. It's showing up in games.
I know accuracy is kind of a general term, getting the ball to the receiver, but is there a way that you guys maybe track, the ball placement and whatnot? Because I feel like that's a kind of an underrated aspect of, accuracy.
No, I mean, you're right on it, Daniel. I mean, it's something we talk about with Tua. Put it in a spot where the runners can run away from the defenders. Tell the receiver where to go with the ball, with where you place it. We try to do that as best we can. I think he can be accurate enough to do that, so we ask him to do that, and that's a big part of it. Run after catches. If you throw behind, you can't run after catch. You got to put it out in front, put it in a spot where we can do something with it. So that's something we definitely harp on, and at the same time, the receivers got to trust that the quarterback's putting them in, throwing it to where they need to turn and run.
How much of accuracy do you think is sort of innate, and how much can be learned, developed, improved?
It can certainly be learned, developed, improved. But yeah, I would say it's innate. I can only be so fast. I can develop it, but it's going to be slow. So I think it's similar in that way. Probably not a good comparison, but I think there's definitely some natural ability to put the ball where you want it.
What is he doing these days, and what are the key factors in determining that he cannot do?
With who? Oh, I mean, yeah, he had a pretty significant fracture in the finger. There's a lot of broken bones in there, and still healing, and just not able to get out there yet.
Brian, Andrew Van Ginkel has been making a lot of plays recently, a lot more so than earlier in the season. Are you seeing anything different in him, or is it just a matter of getting more opportunities and him capitalizing on them?
I think he always plays. He's always consistent. He's tough. He's physical. He always plays with high effort and motor. Every game's a little bit different. He's certainly I would say normally takes advantage of his opportunities. Took advantage of some rush opportunities last week, but he also does a good job setting the edge, getting some batted balls. I think collectively as a group, I think they're making more plays, and he's just part of that.
Your three rookies have played really well, especially the last couple of weeks. Top rookies, I guess, Waddle, Phillips, and Holland. I'm curious how you've seen them maybe evolve from when you first got them to where they are now.
I think the entire rookie class, they're all working hard. They're all improving, getting better. Those three in particular, getting a lot of playing time, along with Liam Eichenberg's getting a lot of playing time as well. He's making improvements as well. I think those guys are, it's really what I've been saying all year. They're sponges. They're eager to learn and eager to improve, get better. I think they've made a lot of improvements over the course of the year. I think probably some of the flash stats came up last week. That's why we're spending a lot more time. But I think they've all made improvements. Whether it's sacks or yards or our interceptions. But I just we've had this conversation on the big stats. I think if again, it's 1,000 plays, you get 10 sacks. That's 1% of your plays. So. Big picture-wise, I think they've been doing a good job, really, the last 4 or 5 weeks, and they're making improvements. And some of those bigger plays are showing up, but it's the little things that I try to put a lot of attention to, because the little things turn into big things, and I think that's really where they've taken care of some of those things, getting the line, knowing their assignments, knowing their responsibility, being in the right gap, taking the right angle, on a stunt, which will put you in position to, potentially get a sack. I think all those little things are showing up, and that's where they need to keep their focus.
With I guess with Phillips and Holland in particular, both of those guys, I think you guys started them off a little slower as far as reps, and now they've kind of ramped up to full-time players. How is maybe your philosophy or your way to kind of treat them maybe paid off and that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's it's hard to just come in and just jump right in, I would say. So if it's possible to do it incrementally, try to do that. I think that we try to do that. Or we tried to do that as much as we can. Sometimes there's a need and you got to throw them in there. But we were able to take our time with both of those guys, and when we felt like they were ready, we put them in there.
Brian, do you expect Phillip to be a bigger part of the game plan this week? Has he learned enough about this offense that you can extend his package a bit?
I mean, he's in here every day trying to get a better grasp of the terminology, the ball handling, protection calls, little nuances within a run scheme or pass scheme. So then we got to go out there and practice it, and walk through it and then practice it and see what it looks like. But I think there'll be an opportunity for that. We'll see how it goes this week in practice.
Ryan, I remember a couple weeks into the season, Eric Rose saying we have to do, as a defense, we have to do what's important on the early downs in order to kind of do what we do best. How important specifically has your defensive front been in stopping the run, limiting early down success, and then you guys being able to do what you do best on third downs?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's always trying to execute on early downs. Put them behind schedule. They're trying to stay on schedule. I mean, I think that's always the case. That's certainly going to be the case this week against the Giants. We're not, talking enough about them, but they got a good football team. They got good backs. They got good receivers. They got a good O-line. They got a good defense, good defensive line. They keep the score down. They play well in the kicking game. So that's certainly going to be something that we're going to have to do this week. I would say, look, we don't know the health of their skill players, but if they're all healthy, I mean, this is a good skill group, like very good. So between Galladay and Shepard and Kadarius Toney and Ingram and Slayton and Barkley, it's name after name after name after name, and Rudolph and guys we got to cover. So, yeah, it's going to be a big test. That's kind of where our focus is right now, and we're going to have to do a good job on early downs for sure.
The uncertain status of Daniel Jones maybe impact the way you're preparing right now, or is it just, once again, kind of preparing for the team as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, we're preparing as if he's going to be up. Take a look at all the quarterbacks, but they've got plenty of guys to prepare for, offensively, defensively, and in the kicking game. They got some really good players in the kicking game as well. Julian Love, Keon Cross, and they got some really good players across the board. Leonard Williams, he's a problem, a major problem. Bradbury, so they got a good team, and I know, this staff, so they're going to have their team ready to go, for sure. So this will be a major challenge for our team. And we got to prepare the right way and keep our focus right there.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.